Welcome to another piano lesson with Warren. My name is Warren McPherson. Thank you for joining me here today. This is the channel where we talk about gospel piano playing and gospel music. Everything you need to take your playing to the next level as a gospel musician, we discuss on this channel. So if you have not hit that subscribe button yet, and you've been watching us for a while, or watching me for a while, I highly encourage you to do so if you want to be updated when we release new content every Wednesday. So, today we're talking about finding the right key to play the songs and the hymns in for your church. Every church is different, and this is something that you kind of have to study not because the song was recorded in A, that doesn't mean playing it in A would be the best choice for the singers in your church or for the congregation, especially in the congregational setting. And one of the things I've learned over the years playing for a lot of churches is that very few churches can actually do the hymns in the keys that the hymns are written in. And so oftentimes I had to either raise the key or lower it. And if you look at this, really, the hymnal is written for 4-part singing. So we have a bass, we have a tenor, an alto, and a soprano. True sopranos. Most gospel churches, we're working with folks who are not trained singers. And so you have a mixture of voices. And in my experience, very rarely you come across true sopranos who are not trained, where they can naturally hit those high notes comfortably. And so what I realized I had to do is start, again, messing with the keys to fit the voices that I'm working with. Now, the church that I currently play for, I've been the music director for that church for about 7 years, and I know the congregation. It's a small church. We're talking about 100 to 120 members max. So I know where the congregation sits. I know where the pastor's registers sit. For most of our song service sort of leaders and directors, I know where their voice sit. And so I can hear the song and say, nope, it's not going to work in that key. We got to drop it a whole step, raise it a whole step. Sometimes I have to go like a full third or a fourth just so it sits in their key. And this is something all gospel pianists should be conscious of, because you're going to realize that you either pick a key and the singers they can't sing in it. They're straining. Either it's too low or it's too high. And the sweet spot is to find a key where the bass and the tenors can sing nicely in their register, and the sopranos and the altos can sing nicely in their register. In my church, most of the women sing from their chests. Nice sort of big alto voice. And I think that's true for most, especially small gospel churches. You're going to find the women, those nice big alto voice, or what we call mezzo-soprano. So they're not true sopranos, and they're not really full deep voice altos. Either case, a lot of the keys that the hymns sit in sort of feature true sopranos. Now let's take a look at the piano. For my register, because I can hit fairly high note. I'm a tenor, but I can also hit low notes because I have a low register. I can go way down into bass territory. So I use myself as an example. And if I find a key where I'm struggling to hit the high notes, then I know that some of the women will be struggling to sing those high notes. And so if my melody goes beyond this F, I know, okay, some of the women are going to have trouble with it. Because from this F up, we're talking about true soprano territory. But most women who are alto, mezzo-soprano can hit this F with their chest voice. So I watch the melody. Most hymns I'm familiar with it. So if the Reverend spontaneous said we're going to do this hymn, and I can sort of mentally sing the hymn in my head, we're talking about in a matter of seconds. I sort of scan to where the high notes are, and I go, ooh, that's going to be above this F, so let's drop the key. Or oh, it's too low if I keep it in that key, so let's bring it up. Now let's take a look at some example of what I'm talking about. Like this hymn right here, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. That's in, excuse me, that's in F. And you have the melody. Now that's where the melody is. That's where the melody sits. That's the soprano. It's pretty high. Now, I automatically know that no one in my church sings, well, not no one, most, 90% of the congregation is not going to be able to sing. Females not going to be able to sing up there. If we're talking about just men, then it's a comfortable key. When I survey the wondrous cross on which the Prince of Glory died. So it sits nicely for a tenor baritone. We could sing it here comfortably, but the women, that low, even though some women could sing that low, it would not be comfortable for them. So they would want to jump up the octave, but that's when it gets too high. When I survey the wondrous cross on which the Prince of Glory died. A soprano would sing up there comfortable. I'm using my falsetto voice just so I could reach those notes. But again, for those women in my church that likes to sing with that big chest voice, it would be tough for them to sing comfortably and powerfully using their chest in that register. Again, we're talking about untrained singers. They're not trained singers. These are just folks who love to sing and, been singing in church all their lives. But they're not really trained singers, so singing in that register using chest voice, gets uncomfortable real quickly. So in this case, what I would do, I would drop the key so that the mezzo-sopranos and altos can sing in their nice chest voice, but also the tenors, probably could sing a little bit lower. Another way you can look at it too, I can raise the key significantly so that the tenor goes up and the sopranos can sing basically in a nice tenor full register. And let me do both versions so you see. So in this case, we're in F. If I were to drop it down to E flat, melody, when I survey the wondrous cross, the tenors can still sing. Da 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 dee da 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 da. And the altos now can sing a tone lower in that upper register. When I survey the wondrous cross, da 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 da. So that's one way I would do it. Or I could say, you know what? The tenor has this. When I survey the wondrous cross. And I go, what if I raise this like, a minor third up? So then they have, when I survey the wondrous cross. A lot of women can sing in that key and still, feel comfortable. And for a lot of the tenors, they can hang out in that key too. When I survey the wondrous cross. And for my bass, they can hang out down there and feel comfortable. I could probably even bring this another key up. So now we're a perfect fourth up from where we started. Then I survey the wondrous cross. Da, 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 da. And that key works for everybody. So this is how I sort of think about what key I'm going to drop the hymns in, what key I'm going to drop the praise and worship songs in. If we're doing a praise song, especially like a Tasha Cobb's, where, you know, she's always up in the stratosphere, I may mess around with the key so it suits my church, my congregation. Let's take a look at another hymn. Let's take a look at the Cross. And this is in E flat. We'll jump to the chorus. At the cross, where I first saw the light, and the burdens of my heart rolled away. Oh, it was there by faith I received my sight, and now I am happy all the day. See, now I'm singing it in the sort of tenor register, but it's still a low tenor register. That's my cue that tells me that most mezzo-sopranos, altos, not going to want to sing it that low. Some of them probably can't even sing it that low. They're going to want to jump up the octave. At the cross, where I first saw the light, and my burdens of my heart rolled away. It was there by faith I received my sight, and I am happy all the day. It's a high. Again, that's full soprano territory. Most mezzo and alto not going to want to sing up there, comfortably using their chest voice. So in this case, I would lower it. I would lower it to say, till the song start, or the chorus, because we're working with the chorus. At the cross. So if I can say, what if I drop it to C? At the cross, where I first saw the light, and the burdens of my heart rose away. It was there by faith I received my sight, and now I am happy all the day. So I know if I could sing it with my chest voice, even though that's sort of the top of my register right there, then I know my altos, my mezzo-sopranos and altos would be comfortably singing that. And when I'm warmed up, I could probably hang out in that key singing like that for a bit. Or if I don't want, I could just jump down the octave. At the cross, where I first saw the light, and the burdens of my heart rose away. It was there by faith I received my sight, and now I am happy all the day. So I could just hang out singing down there while the altos, mezzo-sopranos take the octave. So that's just a sort of quick tip I wanted to leave with you guys today. When you're playing in a church setting, especially when songs are just thrown at you and you have like 10, 15 minutes to figure out which key would work best for the vocals. Or if you're preparing for service throughout the week, you have the list of songs, start thinking about where the congregation sits in your church. If you're playing in a key, listen to how they sound. Does the congregation sound like they're straining? Is it Do you find out that some of the singers are just mumbling because they really can't sing that high or they can't sing that low? So we have to be in tune to stuff like that and adjust. I've started playing songs before, and as soon as the soloist comes in, I'm like, oh shoot, it's too low. I can hear it. So I kind of just give her a cue that I'm going to go up on the second verse, and I'll just modulate a tone or even a minor third up, and then it sits comfortably in her key. And those things are okay. You know, when we're in church, we got to do that stuff on the fly. So that's my nugget of wisdom for you guys today. Start listening to your singers, the choir, the director, the congregation. Figure out the keys that works comfortably for your church. And once you figure out the keys that the singers and the congregation works nicely in, then you can just start learning all your songs in those keys. Right? And then from there, you can explore other keys. But, you know, you want to learn the keys that suits your church first. Get comfortable, get bad in those keys. You know, get wild. Learn all your licks, your runs, your passing chords. Not in one key. It's going to be a series of keys that you realize. I'm thinking between 4 and 6. You're going to realize that there are 4 or 6 keys that your church sort of hangs out in those keys. And so you want to make it your priority to work on those keys first. So hopefully this tutorial was helpful for you. It was entertaining. And, you know, again, thank you for hanging out and watching. If you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Give me a subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know if this is something you experience at your church. If you're struggling with figuring out what keys work for your congregation, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. This was one of those kind of different type of tutorial I decided, you know, I've been thinking about this whole concept of key lately, and I wanted to give you guys my input. All right? And lastly, if you enjoyed this tutorial and you're looking for more in-depth, detailed content about how you can improve your gospel piano playing, doesn't matter if you're talking about chords, scales, technique, runs, licks, passing chords, just all that stuff we talk about. My membership over at Piano Lesson with Warren is where we go deep. I offer courses, I offer quizzes, I offer song breakdowns, lead sheets, cheat sheets, MIDI file, LMS files, backing tracks. We also do bi-weekly live coaching sessions where we go deep in different and various topics. So wonderful world over there to go and hang out over at pianolessonwithwarren.com. All right, so until then, keep listening, keep singing, and keep practicing. Keep singing. It's important to sing. You might not think you're a good singer, but sing. Singing helps your piano skills tremendously. You know, I don't classify myself as a good singer. I think I'm an okay singer. And I still sing. And because I continue to sing, I continue to get better. But there was a time that I would never sing because I thought I was a horrible singer. But I've seen how just singing has helped my piano playing. It has helped my ear development. And so I just want to encourage you guys who are afraid to sing, just sing. Just sing. Don't care what people have to say. People might say you're out of tune or you're hitting wrong notes, but tell you what. When you start to sing, your ears will get better and you will be able to use that additional skill to help your piano playing. All right? So take care, and I will see you next week for another tutorial.